All right, so today I'll be talking about my health lesson plan. Um, so this assignment is about drugs, and more specifically, it'll be about drugs and the effects of these drugs. So I decided to do eighth grade since in eighth grade I also remember drugs being a big topic then. In eighth grade, and for students, I said 20 to 30 students. You probably could do a little more. I just said 20 to 30 though. This will take 30 to 45 minutes. Um, yeah, so pretty lengthy activity. So for the SOL components, the student will identify and explain essential health components to demonstrate an understanding of personal health. A, describe the short and long-term health issues related to alcohol, tobacco, and other drug use, including inhalants, marijuana, cocaine, stimulants, meth, opioids, steroids, and PEDs. B, research the signs, symptoms, and causes of addiction. And C, explain how drugs affect the brain. The objective is for students to learn and understand the negative effects of drugs. Students will be able to explain how drugs affect the mind and body. Um, Materials, equipment, and space. All you need for this is a classroom projector for the PowerPoint, pencil and paper. Really, it's only 4 items really, or a location and 3 items. Safety concerns and rules. Not definitely no safety concerns, and I mean besides basic rules, nothing. Just listen to the teacher. Don't talk when the teacher's talking. If you want to ask a question, feel free to. But nothing crazy. All right, and then we get to the diagram. So the initial organization and management, have students get into a group, and have students count off. For organization, students will be told to form a group and go to an unintended table. And for this one, there's not really teaching cues for this. It's just pretty easy in modifications. This is, nothing crazy. This is how you start, though. Um, so for the warm up, though, I would tell students to brainstorm together why they believe drugs are dangerous. And this is just to get students to, it's for the teacher to understand what the class, what the level is overall. So the teacher knows, where they're at. Students will have pencils and paper so they can write down ideas. It's a group activity, but they can also write down their own ideas. And a cue for the teacher would to make sure that students are interacting with each other and not just working on their own. To start, at least to start. And if students are having trouble with this accommodation, coming up with answers, let them use their phones or laptops to assist with answers. Okay, and then for the opening, after this, the teacher will go into a PowerPoint that goes into why drugs are dangerous and bad for your health and mind. And the students will be in their groups at the table they choose to brainstorm at. So they'll just stay there and they'll listen to the PowerPoint being conducted by the teacher. And a cue would be to make sure you are answering every student's questions if you're the teacher, and you're answering them to the best of your ability. That's one cue I put. An accommodation, if students are having trouble, seeing the board or hearing you, feel free for them. Let them know that they can come up and you know see the board, understand what's happening. Teaching and learning tasks, teachers should go into great detail on every drug so that students know as much as possible about these harmful drugs. Students will be in their groups at the table they choose to brainstorm at, so the students will stay there. A cue would be ask easy questions to make sure students are not only involved but paying attention, so that students aren't snoozing off to the lecture. Make sure they're involved in our learning. And a modification would be have students who don't know much about drugs be given some links via email, which explains the drugs into depth. This is more of an after class thing, but this would help. Um, and so for the closure of this lesson, after the PowerPoint, have students write in the back of their paper new things they have learned about drugs, if any. So basically, your start at your closing where you began almost. So you're doing the same thing where you're in your group and you're discussing if you've learned anything new. And students don't have to talk to their group since the part is more individual. So this is, even though they're in the group, I'll let them talk in the beginning, but it's more individual. So it'll be a little less talking, but there is talking. Um, and A cue would be make sure students are working, obviously. And a modification would be if students learn nothing new from the presentation, then he or she can just wait for the bell to ring. If the student really does know that much about drugs, which there shouldn't be many, but there are, just then that's fine. That's awesome, actually. Just that's fine. Just let them, they can sit and wait for the bell to ring. Um, an assessment of objectives, student observation, and paper pencil assignment. It's those are the two that apply to that. So that's my health lesson. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for listening.